All right, so welcome to the trauma unit at Groote Schuur Hospital. We've got some doctors we're going to be interviewing regarding our electronic trauma health registry. Firstly, we've got Dr. Marks, who's been in front room. She's a trauma MO. And then we've got a new doctor here on the scene. Please introduce yourself.
Dr. Kamel Alawadi.
All the way from?
Bahrain.
Bahrain. Now, while we're interviewing him as well, he's just arrived, so he's just getting familiar to the system. So I thought that would be a good addition to the team. And then we've got Dr. Gori, who's been here. He's in surgery, trauma MO, and he's been here in the front room for quite some time. How long have you been here now?
It's now been 7 months.
7 months. Okay. So if I can start with Dr. Marks, how long have you been here?
I've been here for 5 months now.
5 months, okay. And when you arrived, the electronic trauma health registry was up and running. You've never had paper base?
No, not yet.
Okay, have you ever entered a patient on a paper form, or has been purely onto the electronic trauma health registry? Here.
There was only once when the system was down.
So in 5 months, you've only entered one patient on a paper registry?
One call.
One call?
Yes.
Okay. One shift in 5 months. Other than that, every patient has been entered. Okay. And how have you found the experience, in all honesty?
Initially, it was quite time-consuming to fill in and to learn. Luckily, I had one of the doctors who had been here for much longer, who went through the system with me. So you really do need someone to go through every step with you initially, so that you can learn how to use it and what to fill in, what not to fill in. Besides that, yeah, my greatest concern is that it's so time-consuming. But other than that, what I love about it is that you can read people's notes because it's not handwritten. And yeah, if you have a really good Wi-Fi system and nothing is down, then it works.
Okay, and if you had it was not on Wi-Fi, because we've made a version that's not dependent on internet, would that be good?
Yes.
Okay. Better. And do you believe this is important for a trauma unit such as this to have electronic data capturing?
Very important, because we can use it for research. One of the most important things is when patients come back and we don't get their files straight away, we can go straight to our database and we can pull up their notes from months ago, so we know what's happened to them before.
So initially it was quite time consuming, but are you better at it and you feel quite competent now?
I'm a boss at it now.
Okay, all the way from Bahrain. Have you had any experience with the electronic trauma health registry?
Yes, I have. I've been using it for the past 2 days.
Okay, and how have you found the initial experience?
It's fine, actually. Once I was just going through it with one of the experienced doctors. After that, I mean, it's pretty easy. Like you said, it's a little time consuming, but it's pretty straightforward. The menus are clear.
Okay, and it flows quite easily to use. You can understand it. It's logical.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Okay, would you feel that there's any place in this in the setting that you come from?
Yeah, I do actually, because I mean, it might be time consuming in the short term.
Yeah.
Especially like in a trauma unit, when you need to get your information quick. If you're going to have to decipher handwritten notes, and that's going to be just as time consuming.
Yeah.
When you have something clear, succinct, everything that you want right there, and you're forced to document everything, it makes your job easier.
So your initial experience has been good?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Dr. Gori, feel free to be as open and honest as you want about the eTHR app.
Right, I'm gonna take the pros and cons approach to it. The pros for me absolutely was that it's the information is available quickly, efficiently. The handwriting issue in terms of deciphering people's handwritings is eliminated, so you are able to know exactly what's going on very quickly. What I particularly like about the system is, other than the fact that you have the information at your disposal, when you look at the drop-down boxes that you find in the system, it actually reminds you of what you needed to and not needed to do, which is something very nice in the system for me. Although initially the system can be a little bit time consuming, it's something that can be learned very easily. It's not something you need to go on extensive courses for learning to do. Within a day or two, you can become pretty confident and efficient using the system. So from that point of view, I think there's a lot of positives to it. The frustration with me, I'll go back to the cons in the system for me was that yes, initially very time consuming, but as you become more skilled in using the system, you'll find what becomes relevant and what becomes irrelevant. So you can streamline your findings and is able to be a bit more efficient using it. My concern, which is for me a big concern, is that one can easily manipulate the information that you have on the system. It's accessible to everybody. There's no fail-safe mechanism to go and change information on the system retrospectively. Anybody can.
So you're saying you could go and change the information.
You can actually go and change and manipulate the information to suit your purpose, and anybody can do that. So I think one needs to look at a way of, once the information is in the system,
to locking it,
to have it locked, and to have some sort of a password or whatever that's unique to a specific person who is
an administrator,
to access the information. But in a whole, I find it to be very progressive. I think in the 21st century we live in, this is very important. It's a system that I think, it's if you look at a whole, if you say for example look at a province, and anybody can access it from anywhere, because we do know that patients go from one place to another. So it's always good to have the system in a central database, and I think this is one good way to go about it.
Okay, so just wrapping up, what I would like to ask each one of you is a whole experience out of 10, what you will rate the electronic trauma health registry, and if you believe that this system is sustainable and you should keep it here at Groote Schuur and encourage other units to take it on board as well. So, Dr. Marks, first for you.
I give it a 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Definitely, I think it's a good idea to have the rest of the departments have it as well. Sorry, I can't remember your last question.
No, that's right. Do expand to other units. So keep it here. Is it sustainable, and should we expand it to other units?
Yes, it's sustainable.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 or 9.
Okay.
And I think it is sustainable and should be applied to other units.
Yeah.
I'll give the concept as a whole a 9 out of 10, but at the moment I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because I think there's still work to be done in terms of safety, in terms of being able to manipulate the system, which I think is a big problem for me personally. I think it's in terms of having it expanded to the other departments, I think it's important that we do that. We've had, especially when they refer patients to other departments, they are also not, we don't have a paper system that they can refer to. This is all they have. And if everybody uses the same system and is on board with the same system, specifically in this hospital, then absolutely everybody should get on board with it. It shouldn't just be in isolation in one department for it to be effective.
Okay, thanks very much for your time, guys.